What's up, PMPBeta? This is Ibanez, and today I'm going to be bringing you a 5th generation OU match I had against a good friend of mine, Destroyer1446. He started competitive battling about 6 months ago, and he's just gotten really good lately. And he constantly beats me because he makes the most ridiculous predictions. Like, it's as if he tries to sack his Pokemon sometimes. You'll see in this battle. Anyways, I'm bringing a team that utilizes offensive momentum to wear the opponent down, and he's bringing one of his teams that has a Mew on it because Mew's awesome and stuff. And yeah, so let's just get into the battle. So I'm going to lead off with my Rotom, and he's going to lead off with his Ferrothorn. Now, I'm not going to go for the Will-O-Wisp because I wanted to bluff the Choice Scarf just in case I needed it for later. For instance, if I went for a Volt Switch and he sends in Jolteon, I could just take him out with Hydro Pump. So I'm going to switch out into my Heatran because Heatran takes on Ferrothorn easily. 4 times effective fire move. He's just going to set up his Stealth Rocks. And here's one of the things I'm talking about. He knows I'm going to go for Stealth Rocks, so he stays in and T-Waves me. And I'm like, man. So now I've got a Paralyzed Heatran, which isn't really good. Now, here is where wacko things happen. So I'm going to switch out into my Breloom, and he goes for the Power Whip on my Heatran. Oh my gosh. And I was actually considering switching out into Rotom right there, and that just would have been completely bad. That would have been an easy 2-hit KO on me. So I'm going to go for the Drain Punch because I figured he might think I'm going to Spore, and I want to get off some damage. But he turns out to have Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet combo, which is extremely annoying. So here he's going to go for Power Whip, and it brings me under half, and that's just not too good. So now I expected him to switch out into his Latios or his Salamence, and nope, he just stays in, and great. Now I've got something that I didn't want to sleep asleep. So this isn't going too well for me right now. So now he's going to decide to switch into his Mew, actually. So that's okay, I guess. And I'm going to go for the Drain Punch. And it actually does more than I expected. And then I don't even see what is it? Yeah, right here. I don't even see leftovers on it. So I was worried this thing was like Life Orb or something, attacking set and stuff like that. So I'm gonna switch out to my Reuniclus as he goes for the Psyshock, and it does nothing because I'm a physically defensive Reuniclus with Calm Mind. So now I'm expecting him to go for the Shadow Ball, but here's where something crazy happens. This is the most pro prediction ever. He predicts me to go out into Heatran to take the Shadow Ball, and he goes out into his Terrakion. Who does that? I mean, seriously. I was getting put on tilt right here. So now I gotta switch out because I do not want to die to a close combat, and I switch back into my Reuniclus. And he didn't want to over-predict there. He just went for the close combat. And it does a decent amount. I can't really tell if it's scarfed or banded right now. But all I know is that I'm going to need Reuniclus for this Terrakion because it's just such a big threat. So he's going to switch out into his Jolteon as I'm going to go for the Psychic here. And judging by the damage from this, I can't tell if it's a 2-hit KO or not, depending on min-max variation. So now I'm going to switch out again because Shadow Ball is just going to be doing too much damage, and again, I really need Reuniclus for Terrakion. So I'm going to switch out into my Heatran as he's going to go for the Shadow Ball. And I kind of expected this thing to be Specs, but just judging by the damage, I'm thinking it's maybe like Expert Belt or something. So he's going to switch out into his Latios here, and I predicted that, and I went for the HP Ice, but unfortunately for me, I'm actually going to get paralyzed. So, no, well. And I kind of just Death Foddered Heatran right here because I didn't really want to switch out. And as you can see, you went for the Draco Meteor, and that actually KOs from there, which tells me that it's Specs, and that could have easily demolished everything on my team. So I'm going to switch out into my Scizor here to Pursuit Trap it because this thing is doing too much to my team right now, and it needs to die. Not really, because Pokemon don't die, they just get KO'd. So I'm going to take him out with the Pursuit here, and Latios is gone. Thank goodness. But the problem with locking myself into Pursuit is he can just send in anything on me, and that's not too good. So I'm going to switch out into my Breloom, predicting a Volt Switch. I think things could have got a little bit sketchy for me here if he went for like HP Ice, but fortunately he didn't. So yeah, he does go for the Volt Switch, but it just does a lot. I don't know. And that wasn't even a specially defensive Heatran I had earlier, so something's going on. So he's going to switch into Salamence here. And this thing is just a big threat. everything on his team is a big threat. So I got to switch out to my Rotom here because I'm predicting to go for a fire move, seeing as I have the Scizor. He actually runs Fire Fang over Fire Blast. I don't really know. It's works for him, I guess. Now he goes into Jolteon expecting me to go for a Volt Switch, but I'm actually just going to go for the Hydro Pump because if you did look at his team in the team preview, everything on his team outspeeds me pretty much except for Mew and Ferrothorn. Everything on his team is just super fast, and yeah, that's kind of a problem to deal with, especially when I have an offensive team and then something else outspeeds me. Now, unfortunately for him, this Thunderbolt doesn't actually take me out, and I'm able to take him out with the Hydro Pump. And just judging by that damage, I don't think a Psyshock would have taken me out either, but oh well. So he's going to send in a Terrakion here, and he's just going to be able to take me out with the X-Scissor. And now my Rotom's gone, but now I can send out my Landorus, and he makes a really great play right here because he knows that I'm going to go for the U-turn since the Scarf is kind of obvious, and he has the Salamence on his team, so he knew I wouldn't go for any other attack. So he's going to switch into his Ferrothorn, forcing me to take Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet damage and Entry Hazards damage on the way back in. So good play on his part. So I'm going to switch into my Breloom here, and I'm going to get the Poison Heal recovery, and that'll kind of help me out here because this Iron Barbs Rocky Helmet combo is extremely annoying. I mean, it doesn't give him any recovery, but hey, it's worked out for him so far. So now all he's got left is his Salamence and his Terrakion. So he's going to send in the Salamence here, and I'm just going to leave in my Breloom because nothing on my team wants to take this Outrage or whatever move he wanted to go for, but I figured he would go for the Outrage. Now, he is going to get the Moxie boost, and it could have gone extremely bad for me here if one Bullet Punch didn't KO and two he got a critical hit. But luckily for me, none of the above happens, and I'm able to take him out with a Bullet Punch. And since all he has left is his Terrakion, it's going to be a Scizor cleaning up. So that's a great game, Destroyer1446. And hey, if you guys want to see some more epic pro predictions like the ones you saw in this battle, go check out his channel. It's a good friend of mine. And if you like the video, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to Pokemoshpit. Come check out my channel if you want. And I'll see you guys later.